Alright, so welcome to my Ground Forces videos. This time I'm playing in the KV-2. Now the KV-2 is a Russian tier 3 heavy tank, and the KV-2 basically is an upgrade coming from the KV-1. The only difference between the KV-2 and the KV-1 is the turret. The KV-2 has a bigger turret because it has a 152mm howitzer in the turret, of course. And to fit that gun into the turret of the KV-1 they had to, well, make the turret bigger in height. So that's what they did. Now the Germans, this tank basically was made to take down German bunkers. It's not really used against tanks. The bunkers were made of concrete, and the first type of ammunition what you unlock on the KV-2, well, you unlock both types of ammunition immediately, but the first type is an AC ammunition. AC means anti-concrete ammunition. The anti-concrete ammunition is basically just a big chunk of metal what you shoot at concrete building, what are concrete buildings, but are the German bunkers. I don't know, maybe if someone is trying at custom battle, maybe you can take down light pillboxes or maybe even normal pillboxes with this gun. I don't know, somebody has to try it in custom battles. But mostly in this game you are firing high explosive rounds. Now the high explosive rounds are very powerful. It usually is always one shot, one kill in this with this gun. If it's not, it's probably going to crit the hell out of that tank that he has to leave the tank. It's kind of the same as ever played the SU-122. The SU-122 has a howitzer gun. It only has a 122mm gun. You think like, well, how is that a howitzer? Well, it's low tier and tanks there don't have a lot of armor, so 122mm gun with high explosive will mostly take out the tank in front of him. If it's not, like for example you are with like a tank with spaced armor, like the Panzer H or something like that. The Panzer H has spaced armor. It can't take out the Panzer H with high explosives, so it's better to use an armor piercing round there. I don't know how this gun performs against spaced armor. I haven't had the chance. This game what you're seeing here is my first game I ever played with the KV-2. I mean, people say to me that it's bad and it's not really that good because you have to, well, have a little bit of knowledge of the gun, well, the gun elevation, or how do you call it, the shell drop. That's the word I was looking for, the shell drop. The shell drop is pretty weird, and it's, well, this tank is not made to fire at long distances because the shell, of course, is a very heavy shell and it takes ages to reload this gun. It takes 40 seconds to reload the gun. So if you shoot, you really want to connect it to your target, otherwise, well, you're dead because you have 40-second reload. Now this tank is also very easy to take down. I don't know how I hit that Jagdpanzer. I don't know. Apparently I hit him for some reason and I got the kill. But this tank is also very easy to take down. It's much more easier than the KV-1. Why? Because of the massive turret of the turret of this gun is just massive. Of this tank, I mean. But in the World War II, German soldiers love to shoot at the sides of the side turret of the KV-2 because, well, it's only 80mm of flat armor basically. So basically every German gun can penetrate that from that area. KV-2, I think it was made in 1942 or 1941. I don't know. There were around 500 KV-2 produced, and only around 150 KV-1s. For some reason the Russians made more KV-2s than there were KV-1s. And also in game, if you shoot at the KV-1, the KV-2 its side turret, it's mostly one shot, one kill, because all the ammunition is stored inside the turret. And mostly KV-2 drivers are shooting high explosives, so all that high explosive is going to blow up, and yeah, you know how it ends, like the tank just blows up in one shot. So here skip to my IL-2 because, well, my gun was knocked out and 3 minutes later I was knocked out also. I don't have any parts unlocked. What you're seeing here is basically stock footage. I don't have anything unlocked on it yet. So I didn't have a part kit, so I had to leave my tank and go into an IL-2. So that is enough said about the KV-2. For me, the first impressions, well, just like driving a KV-1, just with a bigger turret and a bigger gun. The gun, of course, is very slow reloading, but if you are able to connect your gun to your target, it's mostly one shot, one kill. Mostly, I don't know. I only played like 2 games with the KV-2 yet so far. This was my first game. I'm really impressed by how good this tank is, but I don't know. I don't think it's the tank that you want to use in Kursk battles. I think you're better off with an Su-85 or something like that on Kursk. But on like matches where you don't have a lot of range, like for instance Karelia or something like that, that's a pretty good tank to use. The armor is pretty good also. I mean, 85mm in the hull, 80mm on the turret. Yeah, why not? And the gun mantle is pretty armored also. Now the IL-2, I want also a little talk about. Well, first I'm going to talk a little bit over the game. The game what we played here, I was platoon up with the Nerfwaffe again, and Fizzy, Milk, and Fredsorg I think were playing with me. Fizzy were, well, they were both, Fredsorg and Fizzy, they were both in their T-34-57. We all had a good game, we all had plenty of kills. For some reason I still got the most kills with the KV-2 and don't know how I did that. I thought this tank was going to be bad, but apparently it's pretty good. Yeah, the IL-2, I don't know. I think the IL-2 is a little bit overpowered. There was a flak truck shooting me, and this guy had a horrible accuracy because normally he should have shot me down already. So I dropped my bombs here to get some. Well, I thought like there are only 5 guys remaining, so what does it matter? And then I can spare some weight and maybe shoot down some more planes and have extra maneuverability. But the IL-2, yeah, so finally the IL-2. The IL-2 is an attacker, but the IL-2 has a very low battle rating, and you can basically use it already in tier 2 Russian tanks. But the IL-2 has 4 100kg bombs, and those 100kg bombs are capable to take down medium tanks. It has 8 rockets that are capable to take down heavy tanks, like for instance the Tire. It has 2 23mm cannons and 2 7.7 Shavak machine guns. That are those chainsaw sounds that you get. I think in ground forces is pretty overpowered, plus the structural strength, well, as a typical Russian plane, is very good also. It's very difficult to take down, and you need a lot of cannon shells, and it still can fly with a lot of critical hits though. The only downside of this plane, and it's a really bad climber, and you don't want to do anything stupid. It's a good dogfighter, but you will lose a lot of speed, and that's the only downside of the IL-2. This is the IL-2M, and I think the IL-10 has a tail gunner also, and then the IL-10 1946 has a 20mm tail gunner. That's very good. So there we go, I started researching my parts immediately, and I got a lot of achievements this game. For some reason I only earned like 2500 experience, very low actually, if you compare it to my Su-85 game that I got earlier. So that's it, and I don't have anything to say anymore. I said everything, and I'm actually done on time, so follow, and I'm out. Bye.